Pentagon-FAA dispute over lasers to thwart cartel drones led to airspace closure, AP sources say. I'm Artifacts of Mars, and this is a hogwash award.
That's all, folks.
So, here's what we're told. Sudden surprising airspace closure over El Paso, Texas, stems from the Pentagon's plans to test the laser for use in shooting down drones used by Mexican drug cartels, according to 3 people familiar with the situation who were granted anonymity to share sensitive details. That is a lie.
That is a lie. Liar, liar pants on fire.
Every plane has these things called transponders, so they can tell the difference between a drone and plane. Besides which, you don't test it out in the open. You test it on some kind of a range. There's a Army base there, Fort Bliss. They could have tested it there. They're threatening to shoot planes down and went into this area. That caused friction with FAA, who wanted to ensure commercial air safety, and 2 agencies sought to coordinate, according to 2 of the people. Despite a meeting scheduled later this month to discuss the issue, Pentagon wanted to go ahead and test it, prompting the FAA to shutter the airspace. It was not clear whether the laser was elementally deployed. Well, once again, they could have tested it over at Area 51. That's if I believe this, which I don't. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said earlier that the response by the Defense Department and FAA to neutralize an incursion by Mexican cartel drones had led to the airspace closure. You, sir, are a liar. You are a liar.
You lie like a Romulan dog.
Drone incursions are not uncommon along the West Mexico border. That much is true, from what I understand. Officials at White House, FAA, and Department of Transportation did not respond immediately to a request to comment on the dispute. Pentagon said it had nothing to add to a statement that largely mirrored Duffy's comment. I got one more site to show you, though. This one's precious. Okay, this is from Gizmodo. They continue the nonsense about DOD and FAA, but here's where it gets fun. A new report from CBS News reports the infighting between the FAA and DOD is behind the chaos and confusion around the El Paso airspace. Earlier this week, DOD deployed anti-drone technology to shoot down what were believed to be foreign drones at the border. But at least one of the objects shot down was just a party balloon, according to CBS News. CNN has since reported that it was 4 Mylar balloons. Unbelievable. Does this sound familiar, folks? It should. This is the old Roswell explanation. Only in this case, a party balloon is not a weather balloon. Unbelievable. It's the same run of crap.
That is bullshit.
This is an utter lie. Lie, 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 lie. El Paso Mayor Renard Johnson held a press conference on Wednesday morning to discuss the major disruptions in the city and emphasize the historic nature of the DoD's decision to shut down the airspace over a major U.S. city without any notice. Over balloons. And if you believe that one, I'll sell you a nice big bridge in Brooklyn for $1,000. I mean, it's all yours. Medical evacuation flights were forced to divert to Las Cruces. All aviation operations were grounded, including... Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Including emergency flights. This was a major and unnecessary disruption, one that has not occurred since 9/11, said Johnson. On 9/11, people died. So at least they had a reason to do this. The mayor was asked how many emergency flights needed to be diverted. He replied that he had been on a call with the hospital operators this morning but didn't have an exact number. But I can tell you that there was a lot of surgical equipment that was coming in from Dallas and other parts of the country, do surgeries in our community, said Johnson. That type of equipment did not show up here in El Paso. So there you have it. What more can I say? We were told originally with Roswell that it was a weather balloon. Then later on they said we lied. It was a weather balloon. Now we're being told it's party balloons. Folks, let's get real here. Something probably crashed, something that they didn't want anybody to see. So we need to get out there and try to find out what the hell's going on. Look for trucks carrying large loads covered with tarps. I think something crashed. That's my opinion. This is not over a party balloon. You don't shoot down. You don't test your defense systems out in the open like that. You test them on a range. Like Area 51, for instance. I'm Artifacts of Mars, so a hogwash award goes out to the FAA and Sean Duffy over this. Thanks for watching.